G'day and welcome to the first episode in a 4-part series where we start right here in the Blue Mountains, head to Tamworth, Port Macquarie and finally finish up in beautiful Byron Bay.
And it's all been brought to you by our good mates at G&S Chassis. Now this crew behind me, they'll be joining us for the trip. You'll meet them all a little bit later on. Right now, why don't you join us? Come along as we show you what's up down under.
It's time to see this land of wonder. It's time to go and see what's up down under. Oh, what's up down under.
Today we're starting our journey right here in the Blue Mountains. And as already mentioned, over the next 4 episodes we'll be travelling to Tamworth, Port Macquarie, then finishing up in Byron Bay. And lucky for us, we won't be doing this alone.
Travelling with us in the Billabong Drover series is the ever-reliable Ron and Di Sinclair.
From vacationer caravans, we're lucky enough to have Aidan Saggers travelling in style in the Rough Rider.
Making an appearance with us is the durable Universal Explorer, giving us plenty of luxury. And rounding out our team is the knowledgeable Mark from G&S Chassis, who'll be giving us plenty of handy tips along the way. Today's journey has been brought to you by our good mates at G&S Chassis. For more information, simply go to gnschassis.com.au.
It was time to leave the Blackheath Glen Tourist Park and make our way through the mountains. The roads can be dangerous, and lucky for us, we have some experts to help us along the way.
When driving these windy roads, you have to keep your distance from the person in front of you and give yourself plenty of room. Never know, the unexpected could happen. Make sure your caravan brakes are adjusted properly, that the actual van itself is pulling on the car. You're not using your vehicle's brakes. You know, it's important that you pack the van correctly, avoid any sway, so in other words that your bore weight is correct on the van. If you notice on the Vacationer, we have the spare wheel up on the A-frame, because we know with this model it's very light on the ball, so when it's engineered back we have our tanks forward and the spare wheel up forward to give it some ball weight.
It's interesting driving this van through some of these windy roads though. It pulls really well, it's really easy to tow, and these roads aren't fantastic. They're sealed, but they're a bit windy up there. Old enough, yeah.
The chassis is the most important part of your caravan structurally. If you don't have a strong and secure flat foundation for your caravan, you're going to have problems down the track. You know, particularly with winding roads like this coming down the Blue Mountains, you've got a lot of sideways movements, there's twists, there's turns, there's forces put on the caravan from external things like trucks coming past you. If the chassis is not secure, if it's not strong enough, it's going to twist and it's going to put a lot of force and stress on the caravan body. When the caravan body is under stress, it starts cracking. Your cupboards, things like that, are going to twist and inside and come apart.
Well, just like Mark said, a good chassis is very important to your enjoyment of your holiday. And Tanya managed to catch up with some of the guys who know all about the quality of G&S chassis.
G&S chassis are the foundation to many great caravans that are on the market today. So let's go and have a chat to some of the manufacturers that call G&S family.
We're a caravan company that concentrates purely just on off-road caravans.
Now, for you guys, it's pretty important to get the foundations right. Is that why you've gone with G&S?
You can only go with G&S, that's it. The professional manufacturing and the backup service, the warranty, anything that has G&S name on it is then followed up from the family.
So how important is it for you guys to be involved with G&S chassis?
Well, they've been right there from the start, right? So they've helped us develop. On request and everything like that, they can make changes and they can recommend changes. They have engineers, they have the whole lot ready for us.
Matt, I can imagine it's pretty important to build on a good chassis. Is that why you've chosen G&S?
Yes, I've been around for a long time and G&S make a fantastic chassis, and I wouldn't use any other chassis on the market.
So being involved with the G&S chassis brand is pretty special for you guys too?
Yes, as you can appreciate, the chassis is the foundations to any caravan, and it's the quality of the chassis that you build your caravan on. Now G&S, they are the engineers, they are the experts, and we build our caravan on good quality material.
So Jono, what does it mean for Nova to be members of the GNS family?
Oh look, it's like foundations of a house. You can't build a house without the foundations, and realistically GNS chassis is our foundations. We couldn't build caravans without GNS chassis.
Well, there you have it. That's the great GNS family. And if you'd like to know more about the manufacturers that build on GNS chassis, just go to gnschassis.com.au.
The drive through the Blue Mountains is simply stunning, and soon enough we found a beautiful campsite. With a team effort, we were all set up and prepared for the night.
Now, I hope you noticed that, because Mark was quite happy for me to do the hard work, gather the kindling, but I am not allowed anywhere near that fire, and that's because Mark is what Macca would call a designated fire monitor. Every campsite has one, Mark's ours.
But as always, people get hungry. Robbie and I decided to step in and take charge.
Hey, Robbie.
Hey Mark, look, we've had a great night in the campsite, but there's a couple of things that we need to consider before we head off. What might they be?
Well, one thing, make sure that you've cleaned up after yourself. We're out in the bush. There's no one's going to come and clean up after us. Make sure it's all nice and clean for whoever's going to come tomorrow.
Is there anything we need to do in particular to the fire? Because we had a cracking fire last night. What do we need to do to sort that out?
Make sure it's out.
Okay.
Just put a bit of water on, and if you can find sand, dump sand over it. Blocks all oxygen, make sure it's dead.
All right, well I think we should go and have a look at that because you did a very good job last night and I wouldn't be surprised if there's still some embers.
Thanks.
Well, there you go, folks. Just pulled up stumps in the iconic town of Tamworth.
That's right, and it's all been brought to you thanks to our good friends at GNS Chassis. Now, Macca, got to let you in on a little secret. I'm actually a huge country music fan, so I cannot wait to spend a few days exploring the country music capital of Australia.
Well, I'll be doggone. That just made my toe tap a little bit. Make sure you lot come and join us as we explore it and show you
What's up, Down Under?
What's up down under?